Yes, that is right, everyone. Professor Anime has shaved the Professor Stash. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. It's Professor Anime, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I am here to bring you all the weekly Tales of Zestiria, the X, or the Cross, episode review. And this is actually the second to last episode of Tales of Zestiria. In the next episode, which is in next week, will actually be the final episode of the first core of Tales of Zestiria, because I believe that this anime is slated for 25 episodes, so I guess next time we see Tales of Zestiria pop up, we are going to get the remaining 13. So, we're about to get started with this review. So, just to let everybody know, this is episode 12 of the release order of the episodes of Tales of Zestiria the Cross. But if you are abiding to the chronological order of the series, this is actually episode 11. But in my title, I'm obviously keeping this episode 12 due to the release order. Anyways, let's get started with this review. So in this episode of Tales of Zestiria, we have the two empires, Highland and Roland, So in this episode, we see the two kingdoms, we see war break out in the world of Tales of Zestiria. We pretty much got build up from the last episode as to what we were heading into for this episode. And we see that the two empires, the Highland Empire and the Roland's Empire, end up going at it. Now, keep in mind that these two empires are actually the same unification of a country. Like, they are actually going up against each other, against their own countrymen. So this is really bad. Obviously, due to the corruption that has been going down across in this kingdom, you know, there's just a lot of malevolence in the air. And we actually see that in this episode, like, especially where we see that battlefield scene when Saray is looking over across the battlefield and everyone's attacking one another, people are being killed, and we see ghosts, okay? Now, immediately at first glance, these quote-unquote ghosts, okay, actually looked like the Dementors from Harry Potter. I'm not even joking. And this is anime original, because I have no recollection of seeing Dementor-like creatures in the game of Tales of Zestiria. So it was quite odd seeing those in the game. So each of the factions in this episode is actually getting completely decimated, and we also have it to where Alicia and Rose try to negotiating with the opposing faction to actually stop the war. But due to some circumstances that actually go down in the episode, we see that Rose and Alicia are backed into a corner, and Alicia ends up being stabbed, and she's actually bleeding a whole lot. And then we have it to where Dezel pops up, the Wind Seraphim, which is an awesome Seraphim. I can't wait to see more from him in the coming episodes of Tales of Zestiria. But when it comes to the injury that Alicia sustained, I highly doubt that she is going to die, because I don't really remember her dying in the video game of Tales of Zestiria, but if anything, she might be out of the picture for some given time. After the war, of course. But yeah, pretty much this whole episode was just seeing the disastrous nature of war, which we are all aware of. And many people are dying, of course, and it even looks like Saray is actually killing people throughout the, episode as he is switching to his summoning art, or, the Seraphim, the combination with Mikleo, Edna, and, of course, Lila. He is, transforming into the Seraphim powers and actually using them on the troops, each side. And he's doing all this to stop the war. And he's also decimating their technology. He's doing all of this to stop the war. And while at the same time it looks like he is killing people, he is actually not. In fact, he is actually purifying everyone from, you know, he's basically sucking out the energy from them, so to speak, and also clearing the malevolence in the air, so that way that the war will stop entirely, which is what I've said for like 3 times already. And then the big reveal at the end of this episode, we see that the Lord of Calamity ends up showing up, and I gotta say, when it comes to the Lord of Calamity, like, I'm very stoked to see the fight on how that's gonna go down in the episode, because in the game, the Lord of Calamity, the first appearance that he makes against Seraphim and the group, is probably one of the best moments in the game, and it's probably one of the most difficult boss battles in the game. But it's also the most fun. It's also the most fun as well. But yo, I just can't wait to see, you know, what is going to go on in the coming episodes of Tales of Zestiria. I imagine that, you know, in the next episode, we're going to see Seraphim go up against the Lord of Calamity, and then we're going to leave off on a little cliffhanger that is going to lead up for the next core of Tales of Zestiria, whenever that may be. But I'm definitely hyped to see that battle against the Lord of Calamity. So yeah, guys, I think that about does it for this review of Tales of Zestiria the X. There wasn't really too much to talk about in this episode. It was mainly just showing war, the disastrous nature of the war. Seraphim is trying to stop it by purifying pretty much, you know, everybody. And we also have it to where Alicia and Rose are trying to negotiate with the opposing faction to stop the war as well, kind of like a peace treaty. However, things are not really going their way, but we have Dezel, the other Seraphim, the Wind Seraphim, backing them up. But yeah, definitely looking forward to that Lord of Calamity battle. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode in the comments down below, and of course, if you liked this video, be sure to drop a like on it. It really helps out the channel, and if you want to stay up to date to my future content on this channel, please hit that red subscribe button below, and you will never miss a video from me. That about does it for this video, guys. Peace out.